All right, well, let's find our comfortable seat, placing a blanket or pillow underneath the hips as that feels comfortable for you. We'll begin with rubbing the palms of our hands together, bringing focus and energy into the palms. And then take the fingertips and gently brush them across the forehead, temples, and cheeks, brushing away any worries or expectations. Then bring the fingertips to the eyes, palms to the cheeks, turning your attention inward. And take a couple of deep cleansing breaths. When you're ready, you can float your hands down, either keeping your eyes closed or gazing softly downward. Extend your spine up tall, shoulders back and down. Lift your heart with each inhaling breath. Sitting bones sinking toward the earth with each exhale. We'll tune in with 3 ohms. Feel free to join in or just absorb the vibrations. Take another deep breath in. Take a moment to absorb vibrations of the mantra as it connects us all as one. Allow yourself to settle here this Saturday morning and set an intention for your practice, something you'd like to nurture or cultivate within yourself. Bringing your awareness back to the breath. Allow each inhale to bring you here, to this room, to this moment. Allow each exhale to release anything not needed for your practice today. With your next inhaling breath, allow the belly to soften and expand. And as you exhale, draw the belly toward the back. Follow your body's rhythm, expanding on the inhale, contracting on the exhale. With your next inhaling breath, expand the belly and open the ribs, reaching them out to the sides. And as you exhale, contract the belly and relax the ribs. Follow your body's rhythm, expanding and opening, contracting and relaxing. With your next inhale, expand the belly, open the ribs, and lift the chest, creating space for your heart. And as you exhale, contract, relax, and lower. Continue this full deep breath, expanding your lungs in all directions with each inhale. Completely releasing the breath with each exhale. With your next inhale, envision energy from the earth drawing up through the spine, through all the chakras, all the way up to the crown of your head. Exhale, coming back down to the heart chakra and resting there. Inhale, the crown of the head. And exhale, releasing down through the spine, clearing out all the chakras with the breath and releasing anything not needed to the earth. Again, inhale what you need from the earth, all the way up to the crown of the head. Exhale back to the heart. Inhale to the crown of the head. And exhale, clearing the chakras as you go down, releasing any blockages, letting that energy return to the earth to be recycled. And then gently returning to your natural breath. Noticing any changes you feel in your mind or body. Remembering that our breath is always with us to help find those moments of peace and calm. Now bringing your awareness to your right hand, allowing the tips of the thumb and pointer finger to come together. And then bring those fingertips to your heart center. Turning your attention deeper inward toward your heart. Looking within for your inner light and your inner joy. As you find that connection with the light within you, allow its warm glow to flow on the breath throughout your entire body. As you find that connection with your inner joy, allow it to radiate up onto your face in a smile. And breathe it out into the space around you. As we continue our practice, allow your light and joy to flow through each breath and movement, honoring all that you are in each moment. When you're ready, you can float your hand down, gently open your eyes. If you'd like to switch your legs or change positions, please go ahead and do that. And as we come to our next inhaling breath, let's scrunch the shoulders up by our ears. Exhale, pressing the shoulders back and down. Inhale, lift and squeeze. Exhale, back and down. Inhale, lift and squeeze. Exhale, back and down. Let's bring the hands to the chest, palms facing down. Tuck the shoulders back and down, lift the heart. Gently strengthening the muscles around the scapula, balancing the engagement of the muscles on the right and the left. And let's press the elbows back toward each other, lifting the heart, gently squeezing the center of the shoulder blades toward each other, wringing out any tension. And opening the arms wide, turning the palms up. Lift the heart a little more if that feels okay, drawing the lower corners of the shoulder blades down and toward each other. Breathing into the heart. And if it feels okay, flexing the wrists, pressing through the palms. And then let's bring the arms in front, crossing the right over the left. Bend at the elbows. Hands can be back to back. Left hand around the right wrist or hands at the shoulders. Elbows up to shoulder height. Dropping the shoulders away from the ears. Gently squeeze the arms together or push the elbows away as we breathe into the upper back. Allow the jaw to be soft and tuck the chin gently toward the throat, lengthening the back of the neck. If it feels okay, you can begin to lower and lift the elbows with the breath, extending that stretch around the shoulders. And with the next inhale, if it feels okay, lifting the elbows up and back, gently arching. And as you exhale, round the spine, drop the chin, letting the weight of the arms open the back a little more. With your next inhale, come back to the center. We'll unwrap the arms, open wide, pressing through the palms if that feels okay. Squeezing the shoulder blades back toward each other, breathing into the heart. And then bringing the arms forward, crossing the left over the right. Bending at the elbows, hands back to back, or right hand around the left wrist, or hands at the shoulders. Elbows up to shoulder height, dropping the shoulders away from the ears. Gently squeezing the arms together or pushing the elbows away. Breathing into the upper back. Sometimes we don't realize that we hold that tension in the center of the upper back, the back of the heart, as a protection for our hearts. And it's important to find times when we can soften and let that go. If it feels okay, you can begin lowering and lifting the elbows. And with your next inhale, if it feels okay, lifting the elbows a little higher, gently arching. And as you exhale, round, dropping the chin, releasing the weight of the arms to let the back open a little more. And with your inhale, come back to center. We'll unwrap the arms, extending them out to the sides. Let's make some circles with our wrists. And reverse the circles. Now bring the hands to the heart. Interlacing the fingers. We'll press the palms away from us. Roll the shoulders forward, round the spine, drop the chin. With your next inhale, lift the palms up over the head, gently arching. Exhale, round. Inhale, lift. Exhale, round. Inhale, lift. This time as you exhale, leave the palms up and gently drop the chin. Soften the elbows. Roll the shoulders back toward each other, wringing out any tension through the trapezius muscles, squeezing those upper corners of the shoulder blades toward each other. Notice the jaw, allow it to be soft. And if it feels okay, release the back of the neck a little more. If it feels okay for your shoulders and elbows, you could press the palms a little higher. And with your next inhale, lift the chin. As you exhale, gently twist to the right and float the hands down. Left hand to the right knee, right hand behind the right hip. Inhale, lift the heart. Exhale, gently twist toward the right. Head comes around last. Lifting and twisting with the breath. With your next inhale, turn your chin over the left shoulder, if that feels okay. And let the breath go. And then inhale back to the right. And let the breath go. Inhale, sweeping the right arm up by the ear. And as you exhale, reach across the body. Dropping the right hip toward the mat, lifting the heart, reaching through the fingertips. And with your next inhale, lift up tall. And exhale back to the center. Take a breath in and out. And we'll interlace the fingers, inhaling the arms up over the head. Exhale, twisting to the left and floating the hands down. Right hand to the knee, left hand behind the hip. Lifting the heart with your inhale. Twisting gently with the exhale, head comes around last. Hold and breathe. If it feels okay with your next inhale, turn your chin over your right shoulder and let the breath go. Inhale the chin over the left shoulder and let the breath go. Inhale the left arm up by the ear. And as you exhale, reach across the body, dropping the left hip toward the mat, lifting the heart, reaching through the fingertips. And with your next inhale, lift up tall. And as you exhale, come back to the center. Let's come onto our hands and knees. And if you'd like to add a blanket underneath the knees for a little extra padding, you can go ahead and do that. We'll do hands under the shoulders, knees under the hips. Softening the elbows so the inner elbows are facing each other. Head extends out from the spine. Tuck the shoulders down the back. And belly muscles drop toward the back. Strong table pose. Take a breath in and out. With your next inhale, lift the tailbone, drop the spine, lift the chin. Exhale, tuck the tailbone around the spine, drop the chin. Inhale, lifting, spine follows. Exhale, rounding. Follow your breath. And with your next inhale, come back to the center. We'll shift our weight onto the left knee. And with your next inhale, let's lift the right knee out to the side. And then we'll wrap the knee around to the back. Exhale, lowering it down to the floor. Inhale, lift, wrap, and lower. Once more, lift, wrap, and lower. With your next inhale, let's reach the right leg behind us, lifting the heart, tucking the shoulders, softening the elbows, belly muscles drop toward the back. Stay here, or if it feels okay, extend the left arm out. And we'll lower the left hand down, round the spine, drawing the knee in toward the chest. And then let's walk that right foot forward, coming into a lunge. So we want to walk the foot far enough forward that the knee does not go past the toes when we come into our lunge. You can keep the hands on the floor or place blocks under the hands to support the posture. Gently pressing back with the right hip and forward with the left. We'll soften through the front of the left hip. Can stay here, or if you'd like to add some movement, pressing into that right foot for stability. Can release the hands and inhale them up over the head. And exhale, sweeping down. We'll do a couple more of those. You can envision sweeping out your aura, clearing it out as you move the hands, releasing any energy that's not yours or is no longer needed. And then coming up tall, you can have the hands on the knee, elbows out to cactus, arms over the head, or hands at the heart. Softening a little more through the front of the left knee if that feels okay. And then let's turn that left elbow onto the right knee if that feels okay. If that doesn't feel accessible, you can also do it with the left wrist. You just will need to kind of come up a little higher probably to access that. And then gently twisting the torso toward the right. Lengthen the spine, twisting through the ribs. Then we'll release, coming back to the center, hands on either side of the leg. We'll rock the right hip back, walking the hands closer toward the torso, lengthen through the spine, pressing back through the right hip. And then lifting the toes if that feels okay, bringing that stretch all the way through the calf. Then we'll bring that right knee back. Coming onto our hands and knees again. Rock a little from side to side, just noticing how the right and the left hip feel the same or different. Softening the elbows, shifting the weight to the right knee gently. With the inhale, we'll lift the left knee out to the side and then wrap it around to the back. Exhale, lowering the knee to the mat. Inhale, lift, wrap, and lower. Once more, lift, wrap, and lower. With your next inhale, reaching that left leg out behind you, reaching through the heel, lengthening through the spine. Heart is lifted. Stay here, or if it feels okay, extend the right arm out, keeping that left elbow slightly bent, belly muscles drawn up toward the back. And we'll lower the right hand down, draw the knee in, rounding the spine. And then working that left foot forward, coming into the lunge. Pressing the left hip back, right hip forward. Rooting into that left foot. And we'll soften through the front of the right hip. Again, making sure that the knee doesn't go past the toes. Can stay here, or again, adding that movement, rooting into that front foot. We'll inhale, sweeping the arms up and back and forward. Clearing out the energetic space around us. Making room for what this new year has to offer. And then pausing if with our torso upright. You can have the hands on the knee, at the heart, elbows at cactus, or hands over the head. Again, finding what works for you in this moment. And then we'll gently twist to the left, bringing that right elbow or right wrist on the outside of that left knee. If it feels okay, you could sweep that left arm up, or if you have the elbows, the hands together, you can have that elbow hooked. Softening through the front of the right hip, sorry. And then we'll come back to the center, rocking the left hip back, walking the hands closer toward the torso, lengthening through the spine. If it feels okay, you could lift the toes, rolling onto the heel, releasing all the way into the calf. And then we'll bring that left leg back. Let's walk the hands forward. And we're going to lower down onto the belly. If you'd like to remove the blanket, you can. You can leave it if it feels like it's in an okay, comfortable place for you. Zipping the legs together. We'll bring the hands underneath the shoulders. You can rest your chin or forehead on the mat. Rooting into the top of the feet and into the pelvic bone. With your next inhale, let's lift the head and chest into a gentle cobra. Exhale, lower. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Inhale, lift. Hold and breathe if that feels okay, or continue coming up and down. If it feels okay, you can lift the hands off the mat. And with your next exhale, lower down. Tuck the toes under, coming up into table pose. We'll just do a couple little baby cat-cows, easing the low back here. And then gently dropping the hips back into child's pose. Or if it feels better for your knees to be in Recline Puppy, you can do that as well. You can have the forehead on the mat, or stack your fists, resting the forehead there, or using a block as well. Breathing into the spine, creating space between the vertebrae. Releasing the weight of your body to the earth. And with your next inhale, let's shift back onto the hands and knees. Tuck the toes under, and with your exhale, press the hips back, up and back into coming into downward dog. Softening the knees, pressing back through the hips. Roll the shoulder blades back toward each other. Head drops between the arms with the chin gently away from the chest. As it feels okay, you can begin lengthening the legs, letting the heels reach toward the floor if that feels okay. And then let's walk the hands back toward the feet. Feet are hip-width apart. Soften the knees. Bring the hands to the heart, lifting the torso, coming into chair pose, Katasana. Pressing actively into the feet, engaging the muscles through the legs and hips. Can stay here, or if it feels okay, you could twist to the right, hooking that left elbow or wrist on the outside of the knee, twisting toward the right, just as we did in the kneeling position. If it feels okay, you could open the arms wide. Coming back to the center, into our Utkatasana chair pose. And then twisting to the left. So right elbow or wrist hooks onto the outside of the knee, and opening the arms if that feels okay. And we'll come back to the center, fold over, Uttanasana, forward bend, softening those knees, letting the ribs rest on the thighs, releasing the back of the neck, and then pressing the hips up a little higher if that feels okay. With your next inhale, sweep the arms out and up, palms together over the head. And exhale, hands to the heart. Let's work with standing knee to chest as a balance pose today. So if you would like to have a wall for support, please have that behind you. So finding our balance on both feet, spine tall, shoulders back and down, belly strong, knees soft. Lift the toes, spread them wide as you lower them down. Shifting the weight to the left leg, have that knee slightly bent. Finding a focus spot for your gaze, we'll come up to the big toe of the right leg. Can stay here, gently working on balance by lifting the toe, flexing the ankle. If it feels okay, you could lift the knee and interlace the fingers in front of the knee. Tucking the shoulders back and down, belly is strong. Stay here or lift the knee up into the chest. Notice if that right hip is really lifting up and try to drop it down a little so that it's parallel to the left. And if you'd like, you can add extension by either taking hold behind the thigh and extending the leg out, or by taking hold underneath the foot or adding a strap underneath the foot. Oop, I'm going to tip over for a moment. And extending the leg out. Listening to your body, doing what feels comfortable yet challenging in this moment. And then we'll release the leg down, shaking out those legs. And then finding our balance on both feet again. Spine tall, shoulders back and down, belly strong, knees soft. Lift the toes and spread them wide as you lower them down. Shifting the weight to the right leg this time, having that knee slightly bent as you find a focus spot for your gaze. We'll come up to the big toe of the left foot. Again, either working on balance by lifting the toes, or if it feels okay, lifting the knee, interlacing the fingers in front of the knee. If it feels okay, bringing the knee into the chest. Shoulders are back and down, belly strong. Stay here, or if it feels okay, hands behind the thigh, extending the leg out. Or hands under, or strap underneath the arch of the foot and extending the leg out there. Ooh, my hip did not like that. Had a little spasm there, so it's going to just stay here today. Or not. I can't seem to stay balanced today. Some days are like that. I think that alludes to our conversation we had before we got started about all the changes and ups and downs. It sometimes throws us off. All right, we'll lower that leg down, shaking both legs out. Let's spread our legs nice and wide. And we're going to then turn the right foot to point toward the short end of the mat and the left heel to drop back at an angle. Our hips are open to that front right corner of the mat. And we'll inhale the arms out at shoulder height, tucking the shoulder blades down, lifting the heart. As you come to your next exhale, we'll bend the right leg coming into Warrior 2, Virabhadrasana 2. Vision over the right arm as much as feels okay for your neck. Rooting into the feet. Let's add a little movement today as well. So as you come to your next inhale, We're going to straighten the leg and lift the arms up over the head. And as you exhale, we'll bend the knee and bring the arms down in front. So follow your breath, inhaling up, exhaling down. And with your next exhale, we'll come back to having the arms out at shoulder height, Vratny-Smith 2. With your next inhale, gently straighten the front leg. Exhale, press the left hip out behind you, and we'll move into Triconasana triangle, reaching that right arm across the room, and then dropping it down by the right leg. Left arm can come to the low back, or float up out of the shoulder toward the sky. Rotating the torso to face the wall in front of you, lengthen through the neck, root through the feet. And with your next inhale, lift up tall. And exhale, float the hands down. Let's shift our feet. Left foot toward the short end of the mat. Right heel drops back at a 45-degree angle. Hips open to that front left corner of the mat. We'll inhale the arms out at shoulder height. Exhale, bending the left knee, stacking it over the ankle. Vision over the left arm as that feels okay. Soft shoulders. Rooting into the feet. Notice what's happening with your core. Sometimes we kind of want to overarch here. So gently drawing the belly toward the back and drawing the tailbone down. We don't want to tuck it under. We just want it to gently draw down toward the earth. And then we can add our movement. Inhale, extending the leg, arms over the head. Exhale, lowering into the lunge. Follow your breath. Lifting on the inhale, lowering on the exhale. And with the next exhale, we'll come back to Virabhadrasana 2, arms at shoulder height, vision over the left arm. Inhale, extending that front leg. Exhale, pressing the right hip behind us, reaching the left arm out, dropping the arm down to the leg, coming into Trikonasana. Right hand can come to the low back or float up toward the sky. Rotating the torso to face the wall, lengthen through the neck, root through both feet. And with your next inhale, pressing into the feet, lift up tall. And we'll float the hands down. Turn both feet to face the long end of the mat. We'll inhale the arms up over the head. And exhale, swan dive. Hips out behind us, knees are soft. Floating the hands down onto the mat or blocks. Pressing into the feet, soft knees, lifting the hips up high behind us. Lengthening through the back of the neck. Let's place the left hand underneath our line of vision. And with your next inhale, sweep that right arm up toward the sky, gently twisting through the ribs, lengthening through the neck. Floating that right arm down. Take a breath in and out. Placing the right hand under the line of vision. And as you come to your next inhale, sweeping the left arm up. Twisting through the ribs, nice long spine. And then floating that left hand down, lengthening out through the spine. We'll walk the hands to the right. Hands can be on the floor, block, or leg. Turning the torso to face the thigh, lengthening down over the leg. Pressing the right foot into the mat as you lift the right hip up toward the sky. And then coming back to the center and across to the left. Hands on the floor, block, or leg. Turning the torso to face the thigh as you lengthen down over the leg. Rooting into the foot as you lift up through the hip. And then coming back to the center. Let's walk the feet closer toward each other, stopping just outside of hip width apart. Softening the knees. We'll drop into Malasana squat, bringing the hands to the heart. You can work with a high squat. If you'd like to place a block behind the heels, in the center behind the heels, sorry, I lost my words. You can lower the hips down to the block or down by the heels. And if neither of those feels right today, you can come all the way down, walk those feet out a little further, and work on opening the hips here. Elbows or upper arms pressing into the knees or thighs. Spine is nice and long. Tailbone reaching toward the floor. And then gently lowering the rest of the way down if you aren't already, and we'll meet in a cross-legged position. Sending our spine up tall, shoulders back and down. With your next inhale, lift through the crown of your head. And as you exhale, drop the right ear over the right shoulder. Tuck the right shoulder back and down, breathing into the left side of the neck. If it feels okay, you could bring the left arm across the low back, dropping that left shoulder a little more. And if it feels okay, you could reach the right arm out to the side, and then bend the elbow, bringing that right hand to rest lightly on the left ear. Inhale, release the right arm and the left arm, and bring the head back to the center, letting the breath go. Inhale, extending up tall again. And exhale, drop the left ear over the left shoulder. Tuck the left shoulder back and down as you breathe into the right side of the neck. If it feels okay, you could bring the right arm across the low back, dropping that right shoulder down. And if it feels okay, you could extend the left arm out to the side, bending the elbow and resting the left hand lightly on the right ear. With your next inhale, release the right arm And then the left, bringing the head back to the center. And as you exhale, we'll turn the chin over the right shoulder. Shoulders are back and down. Hold and breathe. With your next inhale, come back to the center. And as you exhale, turn the chin over the left shoulder. Hold and breathe. Shoulders are back and down. And with your next inhale, back to the center. And let the breath go. And let's bend the knees in front of us. If you'd like to go ahead and put your socks on, you can. If you're feeling congested and when we roll onto our back, if that doesn't feel good, you can stay seated or you can lay some pillows or blankets behind you to help elevate your head. Rounding the spine, dropping the chin. We'll roll on to the back. Shoulders tuck under, lifting the feet up toward the sky. Can rock your hands or a block underneath the hips. Ankles and knees are relaxed. As you soften the shoulders and breathe into the belly. And we'll lower the feet, rocking the hands out from underneath the hips. And hug the knees into the chest. You could rock from side to side, massaging the low back gently. Or bring the knees in and out, making small circles with the low back. And if you're making circles, reverse those. Coming back to the center, arms out to the side, palms facing down. As you come to your next exhale, drop the knees to the right, vision to the left. Soften around the hip, easing the spine into the twist. With your next inhaling breath, come back to the center. And as you exhale, dropping the knees to the left, vision to the right. Softening around the right hip, easing the spine into the twist. With your next inhale, come back to the center. Bring the hands to the knees and gently draw the knees outside of the ribs. You could slip the hands behind the knees or reach the arms between the legs, taking hold of the arches of the feet. From either position, bring the soles of the feet to face the ceiling. Lengthen through the neck. Low back sinks toward the floor. Soften through the hips. Relax the muscles of the face as you surrender into Ananda Balasana, happy baby pose. We'll lower the feet down, bring the knees together, and then lower the feet to the mat. You can walk the feet to the edges of the mat, resting the knees together, or extend the legs out into Shavasana. Also could have a bolster under the knees and covering up with something to keep you warm, keeping the heat in the body as we move into relaxation. So if your legs are extended, allowing the feet to rest about hip width apart. Shoulders back and down, arms slightly away from the body with the palms turned up. Relax your forehead. Soften your eyes. Loosen your jaw. Let the breath bring you back to your heart center. Reconnecting with the light and joy that always reside deep within your heart. If you'd like to receive Reiki through the rest of the Shavasana practice, open yourself to that now. And let the breath, each inhale, draw in loving kindness for yourself. Let each exhale release anything that no longer serves you. Send loving kindness to each and every cell of your body, honoring all of who you are in this moment. Gently begin to wiggle your fingers and toes. Stretch in whatever way feels comfortable for you. When you're ready, you can gently bend your knees, roll to your side, and rest there for a moment. And then gently return to a seated position. We'll end with a metta blessing of loving kindness. Please feel free to join in. May all beings be safe. May all beings be happy. May all beings be healthy. May all beings have peace. May all beings awaken to the light of their true nature. May all beings be free. The light in me honors the light in you. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Peace, peace, peace. For our world, for our communities, and for ourselves. Well, thank you all for joining me today and taking some time for yourselves.